All right. Welcome back to episode 4. This is Chinwag Uncut with Adewumi Oshokoya. And I have with me here a lovely Priscilla. Priscilla, how are you today?
Priscilla is fine. I'm happy to be here.
Priscilla is surely happy to be here, but I'm not so sure of how much happiness she have in her for being here. Because it's likely like I just drag her off the street, drag her in here to see what because she said she got something for me. So I want to see what exactly she's got on her mind for me.
I was on the streets.
Yeah,
Them streets.
yeah, them straight.
And you found me.
We all are, don't we, guys?
Oh, so you're on the streets too.
Well,
So we're both from the
if
streets?
you pick somebody on the street, you met
You must
somebody on
have
the
been.
street, you must
Oh,
have
you
been
must
there.
have been on the streets.
Yeah.
Okay. We're all from the streets. Even the listeners are from the streets then.
They might disagree.
They may disagree.
Maybe we don't know.
Okay, fine. Lovely listeners. Lovely set. We're from the streets.
And
Thank you.
guys, just so you know, she's from Kenya.
Whoa. La. Nairobi. Love for Nairobi.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And we are talking about visiting Kenya someday.
You what?
Let's see how that goes.
Okay.
Maybe we'll be accepted in Nairobi.
This is not the case where you want us to get you to Nairobi because you know us. Remember we don't do okay, fine. We'll
I'm
get
a
you to Nairobi.
Nigerian.
We'll get you to
I'm
Nairobi.
going to
We'll
live
get
like
you to...
a king in Nairobi for being in Nigeria. Isn't that right?
That is highly debatable, highly inappropriate, and very, very wrong.
I was watching a clip of the Kenya president a couple of days back, actually last
Uh-huh.
week.
Uh-huh.
And he said, sorry, Kenya is opening the border to us all, accepting us all. As an African, you are free to come to Kenya without visa.
No, he didn't.
He did.
But honestly, I would support that. On the real though, I think there's so many restrictions that the world bring to us as Africans that we do it to ourselves, that we should actually bring them apart, like make them fail so that we can actually succeed. Because where is the gold? Africa. Where is the oil? Africa. Everything is in Africa. If we only united, if we actually say that, I didn't hear that, but if we actually say that and he will follow through with that, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so what I'm not exactly sure about is because I don't follow through with the video, so I'm not sure if it's before the meeting they had in France or after that he said it. But I had him meeting with some African entrepreneurs, and he mentioned it, which I think they are trying to formulate the long-awaited the AU.
Yeah.
They're trying to do, but
As long as this is not a political, because please don't take me to prison, but our president is very well spoken. He's an orator, is very good with words. So as long as this is not a political saying, as much as like to be politically correct or to garner some love and everything, if it's something that is gonna follow through, then that's a beautiful
yeah, I
thing.
think it should be done because it will aid some African trade and all. And sometimes ago, the former president Kenyatta, is it Uhuru Kenyatta?
Yes, yes.
He made mention. There's one also because I somewhat follow some African news and said even as a man, if you get married to a Kenya, you can have the Kenya passport. I don't know how real that is.
What are you trying to say?
As a man, if you marry a
No, why
Kenya
would you
woman,
bring that up right now?
that's
You just
what
said you
your
picked me from the
president
streets.
says.
Are you trying to get a Kenyan passport, sir?
I
Okay.
wonder what I'm going to use that to do, guys.
I do not want to throw shade and say Kenyan passport is way stronger than your passport, but that would be digging a hole that I can't come out of because we're all struggling in the powerlessness of our passports as Africans. So I wouldn't dig that hole for myself, neither would I do that for you. So yeah.
Proudly, proudly, proudly Nigerian we are.
And hey, listeners, here Nigeria meets Kenya and Kenya meets Nigeria. Amazing. Amazing.
Why do we always fight Kenyans and Nigerians? Like we have this power tussle things, and I don't know.
I'll have an answer for you. I think and I know I'm going to go deeper. I think colonialism is one thing that taught Africans to always be at each other's throats. Because immediately you said Kenyans and Nigerians, I immediately thought of Kenyans and Tanzanians. I immediately thought of Ghanaians and Nigerians don't want to know. We'll fight over jollof. Really, they will fight over which jollof is right.
Everybody fight us. I've not seen Twitter wars
Not you on your
for
high horse.
Ghana and Kenya. No. Ghana, Namibia, Kenya, and South Africa.
Okay,
I never see
let me
that.
wait.
It's
Okay,
always everyone against Nigerians.
maybe you're the problem. Maybe it can't be everyone else's wrong then.
Now she's spoken. She's spoken. She's spoken.
Maybe you're the problem. It can't be that everyone else is wrong.
Don't poke
Again.
the honey.
You started it.
Don't poke the beehive. Sorry. Just don't. We know we are the giant of Africa. Do you want us to be carrying our
You see,
shoulder
that's
pads?
that's what you want. Everyone wants. Okay, I'm being the sound person in this moment because that's what, like I said, colonialism will have us fight as they take everything precious from us. Because now you're saying you're the giants of what again? And who did you guys vote for again that other day? How old is he again? How many of
It's
your
not as
youth?
old
How
as
many
Biden.
how many of your youth died unfortunately because of all these things that we keep on fighting against? Honestly,
Are we talking?
what is the state? What is the state of Nigeria right now?
Are we talking about
What is
Nigeria
the state?
right now?
Exactly. You started with Kenya.
So now we want to talk about Nigeria as the base for other African nations.
As the best?
The base. Is that
At
what
the
we
base, at the base of other nations?
Are we making Nigeria like the base, like the scale of how other African
I don't
nations are
think
going
I
to
don't I
guide
don't
themselves?
I don't think Nigeria can be the base because one, your governance is not the best.
Are we sure?
We know that by how you guys are leaving your country to look for greener pastures.
Everyone does that.
The rate
American
of your
leave USA.
the rate of Nigerians everywhere in the world is way, way too high. And if you're not being hypocritical about it and just being debatable, you know what I'm speaking about.
We are industrious. We are acceptable.
And now
we are on popular demand. We have resources to trade.
no one
we
has denied
personnels.
that. No one has denied that. But it's just the truth is your governance is wrong. You won't sit here in your right sense and actually think that you want to say that your governance is right.
There is
Really?
absolutely nothing wrong with our governance.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, there's an adage where I come from. They say, everywhere at night, farmers gather their flocks back into their cages. Everywhere, every part of the world, they do that.
Okay.
Is that right?
Okay. Yeah.
So there's nothing, absolutely nothing going on in Nigeria that is not happening in another country.
Oof.
Tell me one thing that is
Oh
happening
my
currently
God.
in Nigeria.
For
that is
you to
not
actually
happening.
say that is absolute ignorance. Like that is just refusal of reality, honestly.
One point.
Corruption.
Where is
Deaths.
in the world? Mention a country where there is no corruption.
It's the magnitude of it all. It's the magnitude of it all.
The magnitude of it. Currently, they are probing Biden and his entire family on corruption. That's USA.
I think
Currently, some legislative council in the UK are resigning their position.
I think the
based on
conversations that need to be
corruption.
had are what we can do to be better, not what other people are doing. Because if we sit here and actually just look at what other people are doing wrong rather than what we are doing wrong, then that's where we miss out the point. Because we have conversations on basis of debate instead of basis of how can I be better. You're holding the mirror to someone else without holding the mirror to yourself as a country. And I would never sit here and not hold a mirror to my country. Like right now, literally yesterday, the bill was just read for my country. And the last time I checked before I traveled to Dubai, the oil prices were at 98 shillings. Right now, they're literally at 192. 100. So yes, I'm holding a mirror to my country,
I'll tell
and
you
it will
why.
be so. No, no, no! Don't tell me why, because that's my country. Tell me what's wrong with yours. You can sit there and tell me there's nothing wrong with your governance because I'm looking inward. I'm holding the mirror and I'm thinking about my country. You're just plastering it around and pretending that everything is
Now, I'm
okay.
actually trying to call a spade, because yesterday, like you said, there's increase in fuel price. Why?
That's
If
my country's problem. What is your biggest country
that's
problem?
all
What's
our
your
problem. That's what I'm saying when I made
yeah?
the illustration of the farmer. You know, that's it happens everywhere. It affects one country, it affects others. And it's part of what I say when are we saying Nigeria is the base for other African nations? Nigeria just removed subsidy on our oil when we have the new president, because he noticed, like, well, it's been on there before he emerged anyways, that people are benefiting from oil subsidy. So he removed the subsidy. Immediately do that, a majority of African nations have hike in fuel price.
Okay, let me ask you one thing. I may be very, very blonde on matters politics, but there's one thing that I want you to accept that there's so much work that needs to be done in Africa
Definitely.
when it comes to leadership, when it comes to governance, when it comes to accountability, which is
Definitely.
one thing that you're lacking in right now.
We still go back to Nigeria.
Yes, no, it's not Nigeria right now. It's actually you as a person right now. We're actually talking about you
So
wanting to say that
I want,
Nigeria is doing so amazing that we're comparing it to what Biden is doing or what
yes,
other countries are
the
doing.
reason why I stand so strong on that notion is simple because, you know, I've seen it over and over. We've all seen it where other part of the world make us feel condescending. You know, we like we are worst, whereas they are actually worse, way worse.
Okay.
So we know we have a problem.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Okay.
We are not sugarcoating that.
Okay.
There is a problem, and there is big problem.
I thank God. I thank God I'm having this conversation with you from a healed person perspective because otherwise I would be riled up. I would be removing the mic and going home. But it's because I have learned to listen to understand, and I have learned to listen hear to hear you out rather than to respond. And right now, honestly, I actually get where you're coming from. And this is not uh what is this called? Ula, whatever, like agreement kind of point. No, it's just that I actually see what you're doing. You're kind of giving your country the love that it hasn't gotten. And it's me being in the UAE, have seen how Nigerians have been treated. I have seen how where I can go, where you can go. I can see how people have been used. Hate has been used to make you Africans, mostly Nigerians, be made inferior. And I see where the defense comes in. I actually do agree with you. Your approach may be different from mine because I believe in starring the wound. If I have a cut, I want to clean it out. I want to look at it deeply and I want to address it there and there. But sometimes I get your approach where you have to cover it up, fight the enemy, and then now deal with the wound later, which is your approach. I
Well,
think so. I think so. I think so.
it looks like that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it looks like that.
But actually, well, you might be right, but actually, that's not what I'm doing,
Okay.
anyways. What I'm just trying to say is we know we have a problem,
Yeah.
we identify the problem.
Mhm.
What we don't want to appreciate is someone else living their problem and turn it to our own problem and making our problem a word discussion
Magnifying it.
when they are having the same
Same
problem.
issues. Actually, until I came to the UAE, I did not know that the US has a problem with corruption. I know. I thought that they live very transparently and everything. And I just realized the other day that they have money stolen from government just as our countries
Yeah.
do. I just realized that, and I know I'm sounding very dumb right now, but I just thought I had been sold on the American dream that where people live happily ever after and everything, but it's the truth. Their kids are not living very peacefully in their streets. There's so many deaths. There's racism. There's all those things.
It's gunshots.
There's gunshots everywhere, and people just being killed on the streets as they're shopping and everything. And I understand where you're coming from, but also, also, it's not a point of um. There's one thing I don't do. I refuse to say, oh, there are people who are so poor, they're poorer than me, so I will not work harder. So what I do is I focus on what can I do on my own, on my country. What can I do for us as Nigeria, as Kenya? Because you're in a new country. We're both in new countries, like a country that is not ours, that we have to pay to be in. Literally, we have to renew our visas every time, right? So you know when you see a black person, you know that's one of us. You know that's my people. When you're in the office and you see a black person, you're like, even if you don't know their name, you're like, yeah, we got each other. You know. So my point is like, as Africans, what can we do to be better? Because already we're doing something called brain drain. Right now, we're bringing our smarter selves to other countries to work for them and leaving our countries.
Well,
You know, because we're not paid enough and we want better for
well,
ourselves.
well.
Yeah.
Everyone does that anyway, so we should.
You see,
We
that's
should.
the attitude I'm trying to refuse.
We
Everyone
should.
does it.
We should.
The other countries are doing it. Everyone,
So
no,
no, what I'm saying, we should acknowledge it. Like it happens around the globe. There is migration. Migration is a thing. It's not. It's not particular to some certain people.
Yeah,
You understand?
yeah.
So my own approach is just like we need to accept, first accept, like this thing is happening, and this thing don't make me feel bad about it. You know, it's difficult to change someone's heart by somewhat blaming them.
Yeah.
Then when you accept them and you try to change them, the approach is a bit different.
Okay,
But
okay.
what
I
can
get
we do?
I think this is literally parenting styles differing. Literally. I am literally telling you this. Your approach is like, you know what, smothering someone and showing them love and then whatever. And my approach is almost the same, but it's like there's a problem. Let's face that first, that there is a problem. Because I've seen Americans. I didn't also know like Americans could come and work in the Middle East where they say we're saving, even in the movies, we are saving the Middle East. There's so much terrorism and everything. I didn't think that they would come from America to the United Arab Emirates. United Arab Emirates to work there. I didn't think that. But my point is like, even if they didn't come here, their lives are not like as badly as ours when it comes to payment. Hear me out. I can see your breathing change and relax. All I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, like, for instance, I'm a teacher here. If you see or compare what a teacher like me is paid in my country and what they're paid here, you're like, yeah, you deserve to come here. But them, they travel because of sense of adventure or something like that. It's not really necessarily,
Yeah, the
or
purpose is different. The
yes,
why, the
but our
reasons.
purpose is like really survival. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Like my need for coming. If I was a teacher in my country, I would be barely surviving, and I don't want to sound like making it worse like than it is, but it is true. I was a graduate from 2018 and I stayed unemployed for 3 years until I came to the UAE. So that's the reality of our country. And that's the reality that we need to address. Why are there so many graduates unemployed? What systems can be put in place or what systems can be replaced to make room for these people who actually need work? Do we need more degrees or do we need more practical uh, education, which I'm seeing in the UAE? So, how? Another question is now, like I said, my approach is holding the mirror towards myself. How can I make it better for my people? The education system that I am teaching in right now has nothing to do with what I was taught in the university for 4 years. And remember, I'm a teacher of English, which is a very, very universal. It's not history or theory. It's English, but it's a totally different approach than what I'm teaching right now. I'm teaching in an American school, and I'm learning so much from how a child is handled, from how a class is set up, from the day to day, from literally holidays, all those things. And if I had a chance, I'll go back to my country where there are schools that are American schools, but they're just for the elite and very few people who make money off corruption and the backs of the people in the farms killing themselves and dying of poverty, who cannot afford to send their kids to those elite schools that I couldn't. And trust me, in my country, I wasn't doing that badly off, but I couldn't afford to get into those schools. That's why my education doesn't fit the education I'm giving to these kids right now. That's why I've had to do a million and one courses to even just be acceptable in this country. So I look inward and I understand that what can I do to go back to my country and make this education that I know now affordable to these kids? Who can hold my hand because I can't do it alone? How can I do this with someone else? Which other youth can I share this dream at my age and not think that I'm crazy? Because yes, we had dreams at 20. But right now, as we grow old, all we want is to survive because our systems keep hitting us on the knees and we keep on falling and we just give up because the system keeps failing us over and over again. So that's the point. Instead of looking at how America is failing us as a whole, I want us to narrow down to what little changes can we make.
Yeah, I understand that perspective. And I think uh, I'm 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 looking too far. I'm looking at the inception of the entire crisis because we understand what the problem is. We understand, okay, we have to find a solution.
Mhm.
So, at the same time, we need to recognize a fact. And the fact is, for me personally, Africa generally is still in slavery.
Yeah, very true.
Before time, they are mining natural resources and stuff like that. Well, they've always been mining human resources illegally.
Slavery.
I don't
Black
want to use
people.
the word.
Black people.
They do that. Now, they are not the one directly forcing us to migrate. We are by ourselves, working hard from that no money Africa,
Yeah.
gathering those money to buy air ticket, pay for visas to leave.
Yeah.
So, which means there is still exploitation of human resources out of Africa.
Yeah.
Now, this same set of people are telling us we are not good, we are bad, our governance is shit. All this stuff. If we don't rebuke and reject that, it will be difficult for us to build anything in Africa
And now I get where you're coming from.
because they are going to systematically, the system that we're talking about,
Mhm.
they're going to systematically make sure it doesn't happen, which is still our problem,
Yeah.
not their problem,
Yeah.
because we are the enablement.
Yeah.
We are enabling them, giving them the environment and resources on our land to do that ourselves.
True.
So it's not their fault. So if we want to do that, we still back to the question, what can we do?
What can we do? That's the big question. Because honestly, someone will be like, when Africans see it, all they talk about is racism. But it's our reality, honestly. It's
I don't even dive into racism discussion with
yeah,
people
it's
because we're still talking about racism. We are talking about racism as a collective effort. Even in our race, we are still talking about
race.
ethnicity,
Exactly.
tribalism. So
Exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
even go there
Yeah.
because I just believe because this problem is African problem.
Mhm.
First, we need to believe in ourselves,
Very true.
which we don't. We need to portray ourselves. We need to value ourselves and market ourselves. We by ourselves are producing movies in Africa. forget the fact like there are foreign movies, Hollywood, whatever wood it is, where they decide to show which part of Africa.
Yeah.
But how about the movies that are
That
coming
we're
from
producing.
Africa?
Are we even
Ourselves.
supporting them?
Where what are we showing and
Yeah.
exporting?
Mm.
Thank God for Afros now. Thank God for
Amazing.
the gospel music
Thank you,
now.
Nigerians. Thank you,
You know,
Nigerians.
we are the days, we are the
Oh
giants.
Lord, here we go.
Don't mind me.
Mhm.
So, which the quality of what we are exporting
Mhm.
that we are letting the world to see.
Mhm.
Do you know many people don't even know there are like 52 countries in Africa?
Yeah, it's not South Africa alone,
They
guys.
have no idea. So
And Kenya is not Nairobi, it's Kenya.
they don't even know that.
Yes, thank you.
There are some that doesn't even know Kenya is not part of Nigeria.
Actually, yes. Yes, 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 yes.
So these are
Or someone sending you to say hi to someone in South Africa and I come from Kenya.
like, are you
Exactly.
going on vacation?
Yeah.
I know one guy that is from. Can you,
Yeah. Yeah.
come on, even if it's the same country,
Country,
what
I
tells
wouldn't
you I'm going to?
know. I
No,
wouldn't know.
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
These are the mini stuff that we are living
Yeah.
to try to take care of the big stuff,
Yeah.
which is not going to happen if we leave those tiny
I
stuff.
actually feel like that's the big stuff and how we can handle. No, see, our approaches are different. To me, I feel like that's the big stuff because I feel like those are things that have been there in the system. So one thing that you've said that I can actually help and I have been helping is believing in yourself. How can we put that in practice in Africa? Because I think there's so many negative talk and how we've been raised in the sense that our parents came from fear of and I want to say colonialism because it's like we were made to believe we're not good enough and we question ourselves over and over again. And that's why you'll find people even here where we are working the same jobs as the same, even maybe more than people from other places that are not Africa and getting way, way less, even to a point of 5 times less than the person that you're working with just because you're African and your passport does not allow you to get um the raise that you deserve. Okay. When I say that we can do better is that if I know my worth, if I work hard enough, I know that I can get to where I want to and I can get paid my worth. Does that make sense to
Yeah,
you?
sure.
Because I see like sometimes we settle because Africans don't get employed in these positions, you know. Even when I was coming here, I was told, you can never get a position as a teacher in Dubai because you're African or
And
Kenyan.
it's an African saying that.
Thank you. And I wanted to tell you that. It's like people say women are each other's enemies. It's not true. It's just a saying that men came up with so that they can divide us, so that we can actually not just because we're the superior, whatever. Yeah, that's a discussion for another day. But point is, Africans will literally sell you fear that they have been sold on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you things that are impossible to me just because they're impossible to me, and I want to sell them on to you so that you cannot go ahead and be great on your own. So I was told so many things
We
like
should
you
just
can.
call it what it is. That's the slavery mentality.
Thank you. So I think the one way we can make it better is teach our people to believe in themselves one by one. That's the little thing that I can do. I know you want to change the world in a big way,
And those are the little things we're talking about. Those are the tiny things that we don't count as important.
but they are.
Yes,
They
because
are.
there is no sensitization from Africa
Yeah.
themselves
Yeah.
to the world.
Yeah.
African leaders, they feed on the struggles of their youth.
Yes.
They are
Yes.
not doing anything by themselves.
Mhm.
The only thing they do by themselves is to embezzle. Bring out ideas or do something that put the continent on world map.
Yeah.
The right thing. Go to UK, Europe as a whole, America
Yeah.
as a whole. A high school student don't know, can't even list 5 countries in Africa. The one that can list 5 countries in Africa is definitely watching sports.
Yeah.
Other than that, no reason for any kid to know countries from Africa.
But we know all their
Of
countries.
course, we will.
Yeah.
We watch the movies. There are so many things coming out of there.
Yeah.
Anything.
I think I've been Americanized. Like I know so much about it that I shouldn't.
It's natural.
And I don't
it's
even
media.
Yeah, and I don't yes, it's like the media makes me feel like if I do not know so much about it, then I am being left behind or maybe I'm not good or I'm not on the right track or something.
It's the subconscious.
Yeah.
For example, an artist bring out a song, release a song, then the radio keeps playing it over and over.
Yes, you'll definitely fall in love.
Definitely know it.
Yes.
You definitely on your own, you might not be able to sing it word for word, but
for sure.
You start listening to it, you discover you are singing it word for word.
I have those songs where, like, when I had them the first time, they were like, nah, but then it was played over and over and over, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's not that bad.
It's our subconscious mind.
Yeah,
we listen to it.
It's true.
The news you tune into this channel is the same news.
Yeah,
that channel is the same news. This channel,
you're bound
the same
to believe
news.
it.
It's just the tactics of advertisement.
So what you're saying, if we can counter, like, let's have, that's another thing the black people did in the US. They have black producers. Let's celebrate things like Tyler Perry buying BET or stuff like that.
After Hollywood, it's Tyler Perry.
Exactly. So you see, so what we can do is actually be better. Be the giants. Oh, I get where you're coming from. Be the giants that you want.
Then
I get where you're
you get
coming
a seat
from.
at the table where the decisions are made.
Are happening. That's true.
Other than that, nothing is going to happen.
I didn't think we were gonna ever agree on anything, and here we are.
We just have to look at it more
Preaching
inward, like It's so for Nigerian case now that I know of. I'm Nigerian. It's more than what people see or think
or
on
what is
social
advertised.
Media. Exactly.
Yeah.
So to know exactly what is going on, you need to have a seat at the table. You need to know someone, even if you're not there, you need to know someone who know what exactly is going on, because the personalized media, there is a way they control the media of what is going to be projected and stuff like that. So it is what it is. So we know we have good educational plan. We have nice idea that can change the country around. But are we ever going to be there to be able to make that change?
Yeah.
What's the system like? I was watching a clip, I think, in the afternoon, and I see some pregnant women in the clinic, singing and stuff like that. So what is the meaning of this? It's only in Africa you will see this. African women, pregnant women, meet every Thursday in a clinic or hospital, gather together, start singing, doing some.
Why were they doing that again?
Because it's norm. In Nigeria, it's norm.
Oh, okay.
For one, it's not. And they have their reasons.
What is the reason?
It's just for them to be active,
Oh, okay.
Some activity and all and stuff like that. Based on the environment.
Is that a good thing? It's a good thing, right?
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But that should not be the mode for it to be a good thing. I don't know if I'm going to make sense.
They should be active, but it shouldn't be.
They shouldn't have to come together in that magnitude and be singing and dancing and be they shouldn't have to. There are here I've never seen that.
Yeah.
People are giving birth safely, fine, no problems.
Because they're going to the gyms.
Because
and they're going
there are facilities. They walk.
Oh,
they go to gyms. There are parks.
There are parks. Okay. Continue and have a point.
I
think what we're saying is that we have to narrow down to the things that we can actually change.
Basic things.
The basic
is what is the main problem of our continent.
Yes, the basic stuff. It doesn't need to be the systems.
A land that is in the center of a community, that should be the purpose of the community for the area. Maybe they put a park, a playing ground or stuff.
Yes.
You see a rich man, a chief, wants to build a house on that land.
Yeah. Or we'll contribute millions, and I know Christians are gonna come. I'm a Christian, a very Christian. But I know you're gonna come for me, but honestly, I don't understand why we will contribute and contribute and contribute to build one whole million dollars of building for a church that we only visit on Sunday, and it has no benefit to the community. I can see you getting touched. But the worst thing is, I used to feel this way back at home. I used to feel this way. It hasn't come just because I came here. I used to feel this way. Why can't we join and build community halls, or where talented kids can actually or come together and plant some seedlings or stuff like that? Like, why can't we build dancing platforms or things like that? Do you know how easy it is to like nurture your talent in Dubai? There's literally something everywhere. If I want to write, I can just go to, apart from the summer, but even in the summer, there are public libraries where you can borrow books for free, whether you're a stranger. And there's coffee. There's coffee, people. There are parks. There are things that like they will make you feel like it's easy to do what you love. The other day, I go to run in some park over there. It's everyone, literally from the old to the young to the like. It's even bonding time for the father, and if you're free on Saturday in the morning at 6 a.m. they're just there with trolleys, because again the pavements are easy for the child carriers or whatever. Like, it's so easy for them to actually just bond and form family times and everything like that. But in Africa, what do we have? A church where we also again bring the issue of class. It's like the rich and whatever, and show off instead of actually just uplifting each other and making our lives better. We're just competing over nothing. And the best example of what we do in Africa is the beginning of this conversation. We're on each other's necks because we are emotional about where we're coming from and everything. But then as we talk, we realize that we're more similar and our struggles are way, way more similar than we think. And the only solution we have, because even if you as a king or a chief, you build that house in the middle of the city or the village, and the roads are unmade, you'll have your yes, you may have an expensive car, but your car will suffer the same consequence as the bicycle that I am riding on, because our roads are unmade. So if we could just realize that our problems are similar and just focus on the basic amenities, like those things about maternity and childcare and whatever, it would be so easy on us, you
Yeah,
know?
the greatest desire of a man, everyone. When I say man, I mean man and woman, every human being. Our greatest desire is actually to lord over another human,
To Lord? What does that mean?
to rule.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
The in-depth greatest desire of every man is to lord, to rule over another person.
Who?
That's why we see people who are not even rulers or leaders, not normal person,
Mm,
trying to show off
mm,
of what they have, to show like they are better, they are
okay.
good, they are in a better position than someone else or stuff like that.
I would say they need therapy, but okay.
It's just normal. It's only limited people who have actually overcome that desire.
Exactly. That's why I say they need therapy. They need
So, which
therapy.
is minimal. It's like we're talking about 1% of the entire world who actually don't care, don't give a damn about that stuff. I'm not talking about people who don't have access yet.
Hmm.
I'm talking about people who actually have access to
And they don't
resources
care
and they
about
don't
it.
care.
Mm.
Because those who don't have access yet, we don't know what they will do when
If they
they
got the
have access.
access.
That's what happened when you elect people into political office and they
Yes.
change.
And they were like, oh, he was such a nice guy.
You don't have access yet. So it's natural for humans. It's
Mm.
when we understand those basic human psychology,
Yeah.
we tend to have less problem with people. And
Yeah.
so the little things that matter
Hmm.
is, for me, is what I see that is affecting the country more, the
Yeah.
continent at large. You buy a plant. I was making this illustration, I think in the last episode also. You buy a plant, you know you have to water it.
Yeah.
If you don't water it,
It's gonna dry.
some people believe you have to speak to it.
Yes. I'm those people.
Yeah. So now, for you to be able to nurture it right
Mm.
and make sure it flourish,
Mhm.
what do our leaders do? They buy the plants, make sure everybody see they buy the plant, and they leave it unnurtured. Why? Because they realize the effort to keep the plant is more than buying the plants. And that's what they do every time,
This
over and over.
this is not an episode about love, but that is what men do. They hit on you and then they forget to nurture you. You know? And then you dry up. Okay, fine. We can continue.
I'm glad I'm not the one objectifying women right now.
Okay, it wasn't an objectifying point of view. It was you come hit on me and uh actually it was not an objectifying point of view. Now that he wants us to get deep. My point of view was that men will sell you on this. It's called love bombing. They will sell you, and I'm not hurt, guys. I'm not heartbroken. Anyway, they will sell you on this dream, and then all of a sudden you're on board, and then you're left there watering the plant alone. And the guy is like, "Oh, okay, I won the lottery," and he just relaxes and everything. But as much as like I'm making it as joke, I think that this generation needs a review on watering, literally, because I think most of our relationships, even friendships, are lacking in watering. Because yes, we meet people every single day, we form connections every single day, but we don't have meaningful long-term connections because we refuse to water them. It's the check-ins, it's the "are you okay?" It's the "I got you," is everything okay?
Yeah.
Is my hand is right here if you need to hold me, you know? Everything. Basically, all of us are just lacking in that idea of watering into each other, even as Africans, mostly as Africans,
Exactly. So,
because we want to be gangster and tough and everything. But I think one thing I see, I know this was not supposed to be about that, but one thing I see when it comes to love, I hope that all the because I'm never giving up on love. No matter how heartbroken I am going to always believe in
we
love.
don't all have to be, give up. We don't all have to give up.
Yeah, I cannot give up on love. So
Yeah.
even when everything, like my prayer is that
Keep grinding, guys. Keep
yes,
grinding.
my softness never lacks because I think the world is lacking in softness, like the the sensuality of things. Like it's okay to be to simp. I know you guys use the word simp very wrongly. It's okay to like, brother, are you okay? I got you, you know? And I think it has those things have helped me so much moving here because I'm okay with myself, but I'm also okay with forming connections and maintaining them in a new country. One day we will talk about how it is hard to. I know people are sold on the idea of moving and your life gets better, but you can tell them how it is hard to find housing, to find your community, to find a job, to do all those things in a new country where people speak another language from yours.
And it'll be
Yeah.
fine. We'll all be fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yes. Anyway.
So, back from the digression.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes. 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 Sorry for the digression.
I know they
Sorry.
want to hear more.
Yeah.
They won't talk, but they want to hear more. All right.
Yeah.
So they basically don't nurture, do the nurturing part, and it's the enablement, which is what for UAE, for example.
Mhm.
Have you noticed that in this part of the world, you get to work, you start working, you need no one to tell you what to do.
Yes.
What
Yes.
is that problem with Africa?
I don't know.
Majority of
I've never thought
outlet
about it.
offices in Africa, you have to wait for one boss to come in to tell you what you
What
already
to
know that you
do?
are going to do.
Oh yeah, I've never thought about it that way.
Because there is a system that is working, there's an environment, there's this enablement, there's this sense.
Hmm.
Things
They
is
roll. They roll.
it's
Things roll.
on
Yeah.
its own. The mechanism is there.
I rarely see the police but here, but I know what I need to do even in the absence of the police. Oh
So
my
this thing
god, that
are-
is
and
true.
this thing we get to know, not like somebody sitting us down and telling us.
Yeah.
The billboards,
Yeah, they're
the
watching.
news,
Yeah.
what we read.
Yeah.
You know, they are everywhere.
Yeah. It's true.
The information is everywhere. This is what
It's
we don't
true.
have in Africa. There's no sensitization.
Mm.
It's just not enough. They don't just give a damn. They don't care about these little basic things. On a weekend, family wants to have gatherings and all.
Yeah.
They know where to go. There are a number of places for them to go.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we want to go in Africa?
Church.
We go to church.
And
What
take,
is what
and
happens?
take the little that we earned.
I don't have a problem with that.
I
Because
have a problem with that.
That's by choice.
No.
That's by choice.
No.
And that's another by level of understanding of religious understanding, depending on individuals.
One day we will talk about how religion has imprisoned our people.
It's still what we are talking about, right?
Thank you. Okay.
Because during the slavery era,
They use religion
the
as a
only
weapon.
time given to them to rest and the only time they have to gather together is when they go to church. Nothing else.
Yeah.
There is no environment for them to think outside the box. No environment for them to do any other curricular activities.
Yeah.
No environment for them for invention and all.
Okay.
The only set of Africans that have been able to become inventors are the ones shipped out and lucky to probably have a good slave master. These are basic things that we wouldn't want to talk about. And let's not forget that history has already been rewritten to suit some certain purpose. That's way deeper than whatever it is one can even talk about. So, but these are still basic stuff that directly or indirectly we are seeing the trait now. It's always been there. We just acting like they are not there, like they are new.
Mm-hmm.
The slave masters have gone.
Because I don't think I know what to do with myself on a Sunday at home. I'll just go to church. It's true though.
It's psychological wired.
Yeah.
So it is now left for you to understand. Yeah, like, fine, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ as the Son of God.
Mm. But how
I have
does
to
it
go
serve
to church. It doesn't have to serve me. I have to serve. I have to worship. I understand the basics of what I need to do.
I think that's the difference between me and you, because I want to ask, how does it serve me? Because
I will answer that question.
Yes.
It's actually serving you.
Yeah.
Our primary purpose when it comes to worship and God is to serve.
Mm-hmm.
It's like paying homage,
Mm-hmm.
worshiping, like giving back to acknowledge His gift of life.
Yeah.
If we believe, He gave it to us, the gift of life.
Okay.
And that's me on a Sunday. What do I do with the rest of the day, with the rest of the week? That is not religious problem. That is leadership problem.
Okay.
Muslims pray 5 times in a day. Every day.
Every day.
They literally are not having these problems.
Yes.
Christians basically pray 1 time in a week for few hours.
Yeah.
Although there are some worship sessions during the day officially, but as Christians, we know we have to pray without ceasing and pray every time, normal. But why are we having these problems? The reason why we are having this problem is simple. It's governance problem, leadership problems, not acknowledging and providing basic things. They don't need to do so much.
Okay, so in conclusion, I want us to know, like, what are we doing now? From my standpoint, what are you doing? What am I doing to make those small, impactful changes
With my
in
own
Africa?
small level
Uh-huh.
of power
Mm-hmm.
that I have, let me now speak in very much local tongue. My small power that I have, Huh? I only have power on my own family.
Okay.
You keep my family,
Mm-hmm.
sensitize them,
Mm-hmm.
bluntly tell them what it is.
Okay.
Which literally, if we look at it at the same time, I don't even have the power.
Yeah.
Because for my kids now, when they grow old, they will choose whatever it is they want to do again.
Okay.
So, but at least at that level, you do, because in social studies, when we are in primary school and stuff, they
Mm.
teach us like society begins from the family.
Yeah.
So if every family sensitize themselves, have basic understanding, then we go into the community, to the society at large, then no, there will be difference. We know how to treat ourselves.
Okay.
It's about knowing how to treat each other. Actually, like you said,
Yeah.
the check-ins, the stuff. If you are good with that, if you happen to be in governance,
Mm.
you're still going to be good with it.
Okay.
So it's still about individual differences, the personality, what people believe, how people behave.
Okay.
So if you happens to have a killer instinct from a tender age, it's not going to stop when you become old. You're going to have been feeding it from that tender age till you become old. And that kind of person becomes head of state of a country. What do
Okay.
you think will happen? There'll be massacre. There'll be I don't care attitude when there's riots, or there
Mm-hmm.
is what do we call it, protest and stuff like that. That's what causes it.
So in my small view, I think one thing that you're doing that you didn't mention is you're having these conversations. You're having this conversation. You're pushing the conversation forward. I think one of the best ways, like, let's talk about it. Let's make, like you're saying, basically, you're saying awareness about family and everything. So yeah, you do your small part. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Let me look at the camera. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Talk about these things. Check in on each other and do better. Do better. Yes.
Yeah, we do better. We all do better. We keep on encouraging ourselves. We keep on, giving it a go, trying, contributing our quota to the society, whatever it is we can do, using our small little platforms and all,
Yeah.
the simple things that matters,
Inshallah, they become big.
and our little resources also,
Yes, yes, yes.
to do whatever it is we can do. It doesn't matter. For few of us that have ability to create foundations, charity,
Yeah.
there's no small thing. It can be effective for one person. It
Every
doesn't
step
matter.
counts. Every step
So we
counts.
do. We will get there
Yeah.
collectively. We will get there. No,
One small step at a
yeah,
time.
but that doesn't mean we are going to stop being at each other's throats. We're still the giant of Africa as Nigerians.
That is a fight I am not engaging in. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so much for having me. It was really nice. It was really nice to have this conversation.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is. It is.
Yes. I hope you invite us back again. Me and a million one of my personalities.
I think she's even ready to stay because I know
We belong to the streets.
she's going to go back
To the streets.
and come back
To the streets.
to give me some knuckles,
To the
some
streets.
verbal knuckles. I know that. So we'll see how it goes. She's thinking it, but I'm hearing. I'm hearing.
Anyway,
I'm
make
hearing.
sure you like, share, and subscribe on his channel. Follow him and share. That's another way of supporting African content.
See.
Let's have these conversations. Let's have this conversation. Support a channel like this. Share. Tell someone to tell someone. And yes, this is Chinwag.
Chihuahua. Thank you guys for joining us. This is our episode 4 that we are rounding up today with the wonderful and one and only Priscilla. Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.